Yemo bibia kwa ba emfa mbra Mega TV and platform we eso. Abusiafo Nana Yaa Juntuah presidential staffer edema Yewura John Dramani Mahama NDC aban. Samsona Dr. Okoe-boye Lezekuku constituency former member of parliament what you say. Also a former health minister. Yes, I think so. Yes. Now, Oma clash on Hipocrite, journalist Bakuni show so. Yura Omanhene Asante. Omanhene Asante ni show ni so. Na nina Galamsey matter. Who caused Galamsey? Who brought it to Ghana? Na hwan kra na sebi ososo ema ene abe Galamsey. Galamsey abusia examine the doson na Yaa Juntuah to no boss yin one after the other wama Okoe-boye ahusampa ka Galamsey anase ka Galamsey a MPP aban eno mo de bae even omo de bae no nso kra no omo ntimi anye de antu ne ye ena ama Ghana ye bedu baby ye dri abusiafo yenti ensani bi na yakoba yebeto so ediama hanom area number 1 authentic platform Mega TV yankopon koso a enhira yenti ensani bi
Cobra Asante
bibi ay kama
Omanhene Cobra Asante Omanhene Cobra Asante
Dr. Oko
Watina si okashia onte
we dey met you
oh
na bibi aboko me hu na
oh adom
are we still in Greater Accra?
yes
we are on.
In fact say wa bo Greater Accra wa boso me nua ba kwa oboa me pa in the consultations Okoe South omo constituency chairman Asante me pese me dana si pa last week na ni birthday
Chairman Asante
ono Okoe South
okay
constituency chairman na eba Greater Accra project na ono ye me captain.
Oh okay
Obo ejuma papa so far no the response is good. Your friend Nana Nyankwa Icing of GRA Agbobulushi office.
Okay.
Enti Nana Nyankwa Icing okunu obo ejuma mama enti usuju de enumre
usuju
2 Icing.
Beyond that na bibi ay kama
oh adom
party me boko
oh bibi aboko
I hear say candidate beshe the campaign as Monday officially
me candidate oh there Bible no there was a time na storm be bokese na tuna yesu wa there wada enye wa idi no wada
wakuku no monitor
oh man
na me say mo na ko fa ba nyame on tonko no wakodo
say odi weni atu nyame su na nya nipa in the midst of gidigidi no we calm.
You are calm.
Oh man, in the primaries are presidential coca the obe winning only say nyakopo onim oh man enti uni wo nyame a bibia esi no uni say replay o hwe replay da Liverpool no nyame adom na atamfo doors na so last minute ena ye di shame ena ewu ni na obi a o hwe match no bro for 10,000 oh sha wakuma bo na pressure now so the all replay no or the sebi why na replay no why relax because on him results no den dada sana nyankopɔ ti se ono na wo de wo ho to ne so a wi asi nkofo egidigi ahwe wo enti media all I will say here ni say omo di presidential candidacy chi no enye boni Omanhene na so the only admonition am can dey be ani say kai say obia all race ni bi no ono so kita ibusua okita dofo and okita some supporters sebi o sorry tia obi a onye de odi na chi a ochina ye small second fear onamu be edu enti mesre maka wa hada me repeat ye obi a friend affirmative leadership Omanhene we affirmative leader e che say o team members no o hwe obi a ne strength na de bia o kind say wo a otina we eba kasa obomodin eba ahobase obomodin de enye no hyere ye din enze onimo na so the more a wo catch obi say o strength ni no ono aye ne weakness we juma enti mesre obia can candidate strength. Now, Omanhene, yes, yeah, call for regional positions, international positions. Yeah, dear, as much as possible, nyamima wisdom, and you correct say, Obeka say, my real me jinafawi. Hey, Omanhene, Ozu be say the greater crowd per chama. Now from day one, also me candidate ni. Now, who can serve from day one? No more, only one fano, or more for one planner. Omanhene, 2 minutes, oh, yeah, aka, ebuzana boom. Enti, polling station executives. Sebi, mu the power of choice, a privilege. Anya media mamu. Mutimi support you, be declare mu support. Edinechi kasa. But Omanhene, ye bi mua, ye pese ye mbua na party no enya wondi NCC in the regions no. We don't have that luxury. Minim se bi mu ntiase. Ebi se o Dr. Chinchina declare. Sebi o facha mi Omanhene. Minim yem na ma anka ma declare na rada. I say o declare ntema. And I will fuel out the Okoe-boye. Oh, I mean, baby, I'm a fag oil. Mato 1,000. Yeah, let me tell you. But Sebi, those times I mean, you be more Jumano. Oh, any. Now, me, I so so me.
Exactly.
But I say, see the name I Obit say, wow, so businessy. Afena, General Yoi. This is one shana about was a opposition, dear, unyani journalist.
And Kokoni Atitis, media no.
Oh my, meaning say what is sitting and business, what are problems? It's already so far, no, so good. Now,
I see.
Yeah, bon pie, so my president John Dramani Mahama. Send your member Nunkwa. Ye penny you, Omanhene, ye penny bonny. Now, so say, and this are by Dean Hunu Korea and an inyama ebeko ye amano.
Dr. Ko, this is alarming and your input is very important. Korle-bu Teaching Hospital sounds health alarm. Records over 5,000 diabetes referrals and 2,000 complicated kidney cases in first half of 2025. Doc, I wish every day what do we do to avoid? Because you impair situation where you get there. When you get there, difficult to get back. What do we do? What do we do?
Oh, Omanhene, I think first of all, the trend we know any new trend for the past, let's say, 15 years. You know, yanya a lot of non-communicable disease. Titino, yakagana, yaya na wani TB, ni malaria, any pneumonia, niyama infection. But not those days, you know, diabetes, the even metabolic disease, yaya no enye say mo wabi na wo mu nanso ni pedua na asisa e na system no our problem no IFN no lifestyle na non communicable titi na abroche na wo pa na de ntia na e wo America ni UK ni de account ni say na sebio ye fa no so omudi eduane a enye eduane kama ti say ampese ni body ni niama free from na omudi e sebio omudi niama ya process enti na titi no omuna yes is I no edoso mutem but ya be say Ghana with time no yesu yenye bi na ya won say there a number of factors are ama ya we basro. Number 1, nkofo bebre omo standard of living kosro urbanization obi o anani nana farmer ba obomodi ma oko school mene wa be banker ni ma ni nana di ni mami ni nana di ye no ye ka say ondi bi da ono odidi wejumemu onanti so ne nana nanti ko fuom onanti be fie okochi ye won krofo bi ogana ha 5 minutes na watina ne kem wada wabetina ne kem ejuma nso otina ho enume na wakoda na Omanhene nipa duanu say movement endorse wa say na last ye ko ye work yi say onanti endorse wa ehadwin na de be kan say last mi kan ma bi wa say we adult there was some test beer there was a untie regular at least once every year from the age of 25 first na ka 40 oh really first na ka 40 by who say meaning me classmate beer your medical school 22 23 and I checking the pressure say na the pressure here and I'm 180 110 na ni kidney fine the liver fine but the pressure was so and no brother friend essential hypertension. Just a pressure now and any baby na akofa aba a few genes e be abusuemu more BPR. Now at the age of 23 I check here who's all pressure no. Yan checking and see a 1240 anka. From 23 to 40, how many 17 years? Unsabe kano no anya kidney problem. O pressure was true na yen treat ya. Ema unya kidney failure, ubenya kidney disease. Enti ko for bebre amudi kidney eba kolebu no. Omo pressure yen diagnose here. Bebre ko for bebre. Enti the number one cause of kidney disease air pressure. Now pressure so need twin brother air diabetes. Enti you monitor una hu say pressure na say wo ho na ya twa say odi sugar enamana. Enti abrochi ade ba ko ebo mu say yare we no enye news bi omo omo no ti say na obi wo ebia yare be kwa ebia cold because omo diagnose a che. Enti obi go hospital 35 years na say o diabetes on be fie besu on ka say assemble na tu on ni say wo say on hihye ni lifestyle ye no num na edru bagana ha omayini ye ka say obi anya pressure na omayini edru a odru fie pe omo say edru wo numa ontimi ye juma biom edru wo numa wo benya cancer na nipa na ja edru no ejuma enya ba ejuma ye aba ejuma na
ade ababu say ye wo say wo be me aka be de sakata wo
omo ntie no muti ase omayini enti problem mi ensa na ye wo Ghana ha. Number one, sebi nipa nko for checkup. Now, the biggest problem is omo mo ko check up no you say asem omo wa
onkobium.
Ye mo onkobium. Ye ma na edu a onfa. Aha, enti a serious cultural problem. Now, no ebe take education all the way in the churches, not hospital education. Obi a ba hospital a on fa edu no enye hospital na edisi no. Ebusia for the new tenancy. I was saying, Bissani Dentia, on person when we draw no, or back any fears. No, my enemy, me a mistake. Next week, me bar, me book na me throw on blood pressure no paper.
Okay.
So book no, or my enemy, me age in the hospital for some 10 years or so, and I'm going to say the biggest problem with men is say, yen trauma the entire mom will do some no, omunim de do no ye, into brain fight through. Now, me who say, or more me ya daji mom me do bon common. What do you want to open our sister? Because what channel? Dientia woman edro any se wanu medro de ade beto no na ye ka se nkofo we wa omo edro ni so mo ni su bro mo anse no mo kofa omo twen so mo danger e no mo fa na ade a ye ntimi I say Galamsey no e bi aji so ye ndisi no beti 1 week as of we nya ade beti di 1 week obi onu medro it takes education enti why
doc medasi
we can get there we can do it. And one say be education no more.
Okay, me that's Nana Yaa Juntuah. Nana na ti say. This year now ti hayo. Ade. Say na ema. Akwaba.
Me call 1 weekend no masa akwaba.
Oh good.
Because me we juma say PRC.
I know hold on can maybe be say. Na no am share nkomo boss no. Say ye na enti asose hu na achie yin. This year 200 and over there and there. Enti akoji say.
Eguso.
Especially with
see we ndum baby Africa na stakeholder consultations and one na first public care but me ba ho me person me can we be diabetes ni kidney
yeah
lifestyle issues ka ho okosi enkoye education ba so me fan chiama o chiefo ne wa hwefo Facebook why na nye education nti kolebu all the health institutions we are there as a so map out strategy to do the education. And your president and baby education na mine. It's man who say necessary mutimi your friend is saying we trend analysis. Na mutimi who say idea na esino. Even trend analysis necessary mutimi who age is a eba. Sex, demographics and him for no mote. Nini necessary mutimi lifestyle mo interrogate. Me de bia me ni okoni doctors nya adwen se that blood pressure nko na ma obinya kidney disease. That is the easiest way amobeka no. Autoimmune diseases bi wo ho a etimi ma obinya kidney disease. A woni blood pressure me ho bi da. A young man of 24 years or a friend is an autoimmune disease or kidney disease. Only pressure, only diabetes, only share. Young ones are omunya kidney diseases. Nobody's interrogating that. A very rampant after COVID. obi an share me say ne ye be
so we need to interrogate.
We need to interrogate why young people who are 16 years will be 12 years. Only pressure, only diabetes, only kidney disease. So how can a young people and then kola no dano kidney papa ne best so utie was it the productive age of 16 to 45? And then kidney disease and can kidney disease a kokora ne abrewa yare. So I am saying say we should do something more than me doctor ni and I mean health service. The only thing as them no beka. Say me urge me colleagues or more health service no. Me nua no mo me doctors ni ade. Omo kan humum ne nipa nya omo mobo. No omo ntimi enhwehwem. Ebinum krampo de onimo odru hospital ane a diagnose in no time no wawu. Because kidney ne yewa wunhu ebe ye be mouth science there, but sometimes people just ignore it.
When me can't know say medical school because say what are the causes of kidney disease in a young adult? Autoimmune disease one of the causes.
Yes.
But how can first one shall lecture no be full. Because you catch us say can the common ones first. So we share 100 individuals with kidney disease. It's like they say about 70%, 70 out of 100 will be associated with diabetes, hypertension.
And now, the common ones.
Exactly. Now, the next 10% can be infections. And to that infection, no blood more.
Untreated.
Infection, yes. Septicemia. Septicemia in the kidney. Now, damaged kidney, no. No one.
Okoe to them kind. See, be a man.
The collapse.
And your system collapse. And the be a man.
Infection is also one, and then the autoimmune disease.
Yes.
In fact, Ghana Hano, Adibakwa, a cosy kidney repa, and your como abroach. TME, Ghana ha. One of the causes are high on the books. Abuse of herbal preparations and aphrodisiacs.
We are no account.
What you looking at?
Aphrodisiacs. But aphrodisiacs no more no.
One of the serious causes of kidney disease.
Yes.
Autoimmune,
yes.
But mixtures now yet different places.
Don't you go?
Oh,
be a phone line.
In a performance.
Okoe-boye. As I said, on said the anan crofo so maybe with Jumunia. Those near performance. And I may be king. Pills and I the sandy alcoholism.
Because
Omanhene so come akola ukodwoma obekọ mani bi soasoa ne ma sa ne mani bebe ebi okwa
our power of choice obi to ade
because you see a question of ignorance. It me feel say FDA should set in na sa betes no ni sa ne mani nyina no mo hwe ba me de so ka say 10% you to immune quite still part of it.
Of course.
Do you get me? They be a de ni hwe hypertension, ye de ni hwe diabetes, but autoimmune diseases e bi kwa wo no we ya research na che autoimmune diseases enne e han kola ne ye minimum bi o lupus.
Yeah, and my mama assurance the assurance say doctors na work Okoe-boye and other places are share kidney disease. Good news is omunyam kofa oba no ma fa say diabetes and hypertension. They go through the process. In fact, Okoe-boye they would even tell you whether it's autoimmune or whether it's diabetes related or whether it's essential and yet be cause. Assurance man say but for public education I share the percentages.
But Okoe-boye and you be an Okoe-boye. And ultimately, Okoe-boye not to even get there to get a bed to. It's not an easy thing. Until Okoe-boye no are now a doctor and you bet me a free phone no be a day. But Obi also another hospital. Do you get it? But for me, we should get to the bottom of your friend is saying in Kuala from 16, 45, 27, 28, 30. Because me as like a pandemic. an epidemic, a pandemic.
So Bobia, they say Ghana Medical Trust Fund, one of the things are we should not make the mistake of spending the money only on managing the conditions now. Insurance.
Education is key.
Exactly.
Yes.
Education.
Apart from prevention programs, and also no say obi wo what say the year king ebia wo lupus ufu say nyehwe. How do we even help you not to get to the end?
When you know it was so.
Oh no, say
transfer no one.
Now what my health minister. Oh health minister now what say. What they mention and Omanhene Koso. Me de nkola no so call dialysis centers and nkola no what I say nkola the productive obi or young person 25 26 be dey wa born bra
conditions like autoimmune sickle cell so mo de omunyi
yes
lifestyle disease
what I say obi or no monsada obi o minimum obi a no monsada oni pressure and so anya kidney disease, and this thing started immediately immediately after COVID. A day ben
so they monitor after COVID.
Yes, yes, because COVID attacks your organs. And number 2 is COVID ne ban conform herbs bebre so bolo dien ke kabom. Yes, so we akakadroje nyina dey the flafra me hu sa dey wenti na tea bi wo ho amenum herbal tea meja no. Say tea near herbal no, because I don't know what kind of herbs they would tea no. You can't trust it. On test it, you can't trust it. Into no, me feel say there should be Okoe-boye Minister for Health. I feel Nadia Ejuma be she Ejuma ma obi obi.
I
know they are decided no anya Minister for Health there no ye. Ejuma be na tuaso no Bible say intervention be no ye on kidney health. Yes, as a doctor no there no so a medical doctor. On medical doctor anya there wa bon. Medical doctor nim bibia motimi kotu book bibia no the economist aka ho e no si hey.
Ene e bo ma say what the doctor Okoe-boye you say doctor na ya.
G-Tech
it's the point is that as I say yetimi ehwe ehia pa na nkofo piko India China ebinum kokrom se omko transplant na omo afrimu ebinum esika akese minimum bi a woton ni fie bibia wa amabak ebinum so harvest, and you see the law on organ harvest organ harvesting and harvestation, that act Ghana should pass it, because accident could see within a few hours of nipa no kidneys near life into a bit me harvest immediately.
But boys in any girls near you though.
But say no the because we no akwa the one kidney na adenam. Yes, you can live on one kidney.
Or the jet there.
That's what but nipa no mo yama wo mo no bebre emfa but because the kidney no recognize it, the body immune system no will recognize obi ane no the same DNA. Okoye bibi for fra your immune system will fight it. And until no more ye we saw fear for so long now no immunodepressed even say steroids to so that your immune system does not fight your kidney. New kidney now when you if me feel says our organ as I see it me passes alone. Na senkrofo wo bi okrampa oyare obetimi akase a affect ni kidney obetimi akase mi wu a monfa me kidney en harvest na monfa emwa obi, so that when they match it and it's okay amanfo obetimi ayeden aye transplant. But this is not a good news. This is more than, if anything, fire. So it's more than a bushfire. It's going viral. And we don't know what is it. And made the Ghana for doctors or must have many say, oh, we were kind of pressure. A dear Ben Crampon and my pressure neighbor. Is it genetic? Is it lifestyle?
It's me and kind
of ambassador of the book, because anyone who reads the book will have all the information where it's coming from.
So I am an ambassador.
Oh, sit now.
Okoe bibi yo.
Okay, ambassador.
Go fast, mama.
Because then you have the material to give to people. ebe bo mo lifestyle ni bibia change.
The Okoe cut the right way. There's a immunosuppressant. And yes, stories immunosuppressants.
But most
it's still a story.
Steroids,
yes, immunosuppressants. This suppressing you because yes, or be fight with kidney. No.
When you be kwanya diketo.
There be when you be kwanya diketo. Be no to meet nephew 4 years no mpie because when you infection a dio. When you infection it's not easy how. The dialysis too is expensive. It's where easy.
Dialysis is what you go through.
Yes, easy. O life in your bed, basa won't mean your she. What I say? The cost.
The best thing is education, because Uchenipa say unfair draw for diabetes and hypertension. The Ghana compliance rate form. Enti said America no experience actually say Odu be born commercial federal no, it doesn't yield much. But say Odu no be tenancy. I started from first in the first place. How did Onya Yareno? Ebanezena.
Okona asema wo kan. Wo ti how went to consulting room. Oko doctor be or consulting room. Kwa wo kan asem kra no wo pam wo. Was ya na sorry. It will be I have patients waiting for me.
What to be teacher the question? You know I can say didn't original be question. I won't buy extra classes. They might be doctor in 400 after line on the name. On to me for homework about 1 hour. Actual book no. They
be on team for more community not.
But that's why I can say more.
We are not helping us.
Your job book. You more ambassador.
The book be an bet me a kind book no. Me bro for say I'm a kind book. Me go school.
No, so you conversation so akwa.
Galamsey.
There be the here Ghana for nyoma me no ba wudi ba ko djuma sese mai pa PRS in komono so hefa na be
say no yeah stakeholder consultations echina ebe bi ebe share ministers na ebe share finance energy water resources works and housing ni ama wo ma entities no ene wo medinkita ho na o ma ka kire what is going on na ade ba ko is significant hu no any grade no so she grid ko for any one voltages any the way etie no a ho no de omu hia mwa wo but enya me na meka so we share the grade the two say ya baby I red meaning yes meaning say ho no ayi ye kan ye we twi ayi bia ya na balance bia ye kan voltage ayi do kwa ye kan say current low current. That was it. We need a lot of investment to her. But Obia the Nasema Baba beto the to your name first. And as I say, there are two stakeholders name. Near side by side, the stakeholders near some public hearings. And public hearings, the first in Greater Accra. It's you Biasem. Now show my basically nina more on quality of service and education. Today be make say utilities they should be proactive with their communication. So mbe hu mo bi say na mo boa wo mo mi say be bia me gina me ntimi nye sa adwuma no nti so mbe hu mo bi say na mo boa wo mo na mutimi ye me mom de na me kwa first na me ye ma fire say na nsen mu na me kwa fire service wo ko kire o ma de on public education.
They had a good time.
Yeah, they had a great time.
Watch them my dear though. Oh, but it's too simple.
So they had a great time. And you know, no ya say no say near many be a bar but percentages no there to you and proposal say munina munim ya kire ma de ya tete momote ade na say proposals no mo de ato yanim the proposals no mo de ato yan no your technical parameters no mo de ye adwuma if be decision variable no any enkomo any nkitahudi aye di no the momo be kan no so make it a very major role. It take a major role in the final decision a PURC ebeteki. Into utilities no dem dey abeto to ho nyina no ebisi 225 ebisi 25 ye mie ya no nkasa e de ye kan ne se mon kan kire wo mo betua no na wo mo betua no so nka wo masem nkire mo inti no baby as say ni aduru but ye no se ye hwe mrem a ye dwuma na ye den kakra almost say ensure the financial viability of the utility service provider whilst at the same time no making sure say the cost. So you have to tip the balance very well. So far the good thing is electricity now is very stable. into no or how in shed then ho. But whatever it is, and the cost of unserved energy is very expensive. So we don't have to get to the point where get to the unserved energy. Unserved energy and the be to year 2013 doom sonnes man. And the alternative that you will use, are very expensive. You cannot compare. Filling your generator to your friend is lighting your house. It is not the same as paying electricity through the grid. But one thing that also came up is that people are looking at decentralization of electricity. Decentralization of electricity, one, it means to say electricity, but two, it also means to say you better use other sources of energy like mini grid, solar, wind to generate electricity for communities. Into VR, one of the proposals or the buy and or the proposal by say one na omunya consumers and one no munya futubia one mo de be den be maintain some mini grids are in the friends some island areas beyond the Volta Lake na grid in Ruhono. And that's what some of the the by media I've always asked to say, and now say I have always decided to say me pay mini grids and off grids. I idea be a manager because say wo emphasis fie ha nyina na mo solar and more wind electricity go feeding into your system. Na say we free the grid no so no. Tebi bi o ha e bia o mo dan ya kese then they can use the grid for maybe a lift and use other solar panels with backup batteries or other alternative sources to power their facilities. Into the day me advocate say baby say me paper koko ma His Excellency the President say new estates that are coming up that have not been factored into the national electricity program. No, we should encourage all new facilities to have solar, so that these will be off-grid solutions in Crawford betimi AUC. Nas abema pressure because sometimes over two and any sidan kakraka they be a make Bank of Ghana for dan one said did we do any energy assessment of that building? So let's granted that we have 3 or 4 of those buildings. Let's see, say what glass houses and now glass buildings. Now you can't do anything during the hot weather but to put on an air condition. Wouldn't it be better say yebeshe na yetimi aye ni solar? There are even some solar windows which are solar. Obi o abroche say windows ni bi o ha wo hu ne se fu say glass ni na solar panels which is powering the entire building. So I believe say Imras will say as yenkrofa ye share omo no kan no ye hwe other sources, alternative sources of energy, electricity, so that the pressure on the grid be performed. Then also which also culminate into some lower prices, because then you don't need too much energy to go round. But if you do a one-off investment on an off-grid solution for maybe a building, for a community, for a gated community, then say we are solving electricity for this community and the pressure will come down. Okay, no, that's Doc. Mama shall say with you where we are now. How do we get solutions to that illegal mining issue?
Oh, in illegal mining, and then for some reason, maybe I'm not sure the Americana. We decided to say, my short notes cacao. We decided to say, may you sue the approach I treaty yare. Let's go near Obina or Yarina, Upesa who said, then how do you go about it? Who say Yare Wizwa, how do you manage it? Or when Tio people medicine, my friend, etiology. Etiology, I say, I can't say, you see, etiology of, let's say, hypertension. Then I am a hypertension by every normally no sebi common baby form change abro form. So be a baby near who hypertension one say oh yes it I see. Number 2 area nipa no 60 years ushiano no ampa omo omunya 30 40 and beyond enya. So etiology say age then ema obi etimi ben hypertension and diabetes ebi oyobi anu mu edu pa overweight onim say oh eno so factor enti Omanhene Galamsey etaisi wo places are your gold deposits if you say we call obuasi once a two gold wo hono umbeti e so be share Galamsey wo teshi ananye sa leji kuku ana wo be share Galamsey wo e bia choko enti e bia omo gold deposits etasi two wo places omo underemployment chese sebio ejuma bebunu be ye no wo form enti ube wona nkofo de omo agimu etasi wo ebi so ayo political tolerance, political, religious and traditional authority tolerance. Chese say politicians ahimfo ana asofo ana imam si penifo wo krono esoso a etimiso economy Omanhene then risk factors then how much is Galamsey abagana ye wo ha ye nkofo more licenses so mo small scale mining Omanhene but you have different factors of production. Obi our economics. When you say land, account, person produce, let's say, we a businessman who producing cocoa, let's say we are poultry. Land, one of them. The second one is labor. Omo him dear, kwanye, Daniel cocoa no drop exactly. And we are capital. Omanhene capital no normally two forms. Sika, any fidie. Exactly. And the fourth one here, technology, appropriate technology. Bibia who use a ejuma no sebi economy ma ubenya
and machine exactly.
Enti Omanhene
ye na nkoko ni feed number 5.
Oh yes, feed materials no. Enti Okoe-boye say takwa it is possible say 200 years ago obi ko farm na odi no take kakra she bag mo be fie no be road odi so rua onya bia gold kakra. It's possible.
Monsieur Tokra now nyabi.
Exactly. Enti upese unto gold a production process. Unya factors here ya boy. Enye labor sebio untrained labor. Unya proper labor. Enti na bimu call school of mining e watakwa no. Enti immediately the factors we unkita emu ba kwa na mienu pe. Se wo de wo komwa wo be no basa. Na the microphone realizing ni say first no answer Galamsey be GD somewhere early 2010 11 up to now no Omanhene na omo ye small scale mining omo sisa no tie no omo nim some of the equipment na ye di ko riverbed mu equipment ye di connecting pumping so di ba and all they didn't have those things enti sebi omo level of distraction na we form time obe say akra obe next place na bia wa say no I recovered naturally but time a chamfan ni ebi musu meka chom say Galamsey contractors big man bi meka say oh you see boys be yeah small mining bi wo oboase what me to excavator mo every week no more sales e be 50,000 amount my no be o akra or the sika ko share excavator mo aseni akọ because omo anya excavator omo ni the wherewithal sabi the
nimbie no
and also omo the C4S no omo share bia over from. But the Nkofo finish say, Nkofo mu ye mining on a scale that is about 100-200 times the boys we ye. But Okoe-boye mu ye na showing say contained because omo the labor, omo the technology, and most importantly omo the capital. Now Omanhene didn't na be do her. Asem no ebi eda no one found to wa ye nya solution. Me blame obia. But Omanhene place a ye lose the fight against Galamsey was somewhere 2018-2019. Sebio na Ghana for na ya ba kwa ka che Akufo-Addo say nana president adiwe Nkofo wan hwa mudu an be bo na nso ye da chintim ya weni ye tawechi Omanhene tama ye ka say ye stop Galamsey a boys no bo ye fu ye ofom a ye do mo ni nkomo say o ye be alternative livelihood na nsuo no ye bo ba nyama no Omanhene na ebi makwachi say maza adiwe abrofo no omo didi sa omo tu sa omo concession kura yi bi mamu a eno so say eno so fa number 2 ye de say de comedy mu de mu ni hwe be bo modin ahwe say mmanya bibi edi enye mu kura na wo say enchimo anka wo say penyifo Omanhene time ebi mu ye way on the side no na ama ekono ayedin denti na ayedin no nipa na wo so collaborate with aban and on corporate no obi fufura a obetimenya tumi aka chom say o hwe direction dia ebe fa o Omanhene enti mami we mi remfini da one of the very fine MPs from Pristia Oni Valley, Otijesi, if I'm correct, yes, all of them, they lost their seat because now more from Galamsey, you know, families are now mining, so most of those people became victims in their constituencies. Now I don't know whether you know this trend, and then Parliament, most MPs are winning, party no, but most MPs who won at places are illegal mining and small scale mining, either they are directly miners themselves or they were brought in or financed by miners. And the point I'm hearing say activity may be musika. And 2% fight here. I was saying, I am building consensus. Consensus just say was about NDC and MPP. Yen kasa adi we die. Yen nyina agya to say enye. Kwan e be faso ye. Number 1, ye be banning all forms of it. Say Nekufo-Addo buy 2017 for about some 12 months. There was a freeze on NMA insuon color. SRT kama no. There was a total freeze. And a no, then they started giving license to those who had promised to do it the right way. Right way no so say you have to monitor. Obi wo license kra na wa decide say or pompi insuo from river mu abe washa ko river no mu say although our license no or illegal in terms of their process. But then they see here call election 2020 ebi me found the G seat be we ensem. Now boys no mo ye Galamsey you know. Didn't you two ma the other party eyi aban e free so ana eyi MPC free so say obu po bi a obeji obeji omo to so omo nkoso ye. Now if we want to solve this problem, need the first point of call. Me my example where obi station say you studio ha obi ba no see Dominic Mbomodin adan rice aya all my workers wo studio ha chicken ba kupe na edem. Na ya fa no so ayi Dominic na e decide pa na ba na e chire oba na no so chicken half e no na my Omanhene say chiro bia say oye nyina ye ba ko na sa nipa no ye nhwe ko abeboa no emfa because we force our message no at displace obi abefa no office Omanhene ukaya last 1-2 weeks to election dan ha nyina work express omo nko ejuma because of Galamsey
abusia for enti we ensem a eye nana Yaa Juntuah oni Dr. Okoe-boye leze kuku constituency me kai bra me last time me find a constituency opa hey dear hon me time ye lekma hospital the entire nurse no munye si wie and the crowd is almost say we are bibia what yourself. Now one thing about Galamsey Emma Mufachem yentimi fight Galamsey anything. Yadi politics. Yadi amanosem. Yadi politics. Yadi amanosem. Na I fear for this country Ghana. I fear for this country Ghana. And can any kwan krada senka yebedu baby yedri. Na any kwan da senka yebedu baby yedri. But because of reckless government be enyaye aban bi a o mismanage niema aban bi ono de ne nkrofo etu Galamsey na osanhye o mu kena aban bi a minister natural resources owi aye freno Professor Frimpong Boateng etro krata e de call presidency bra na Akufo-Addo ye president e ka kire na aban se Galamsey na ye pe hu emuaye no sebia guru sebia nyado Galamsey na ye pe hu emuaye ye pe se solve no eye nkrofo mo fanchem se dede wacha mo fanchem ma free baby ame wo ma free studio abehye fie kakra wati ase eti dede no mo fanchem of course me wo nkwada wati ase enti mo fanchem enti sebia buru sebia nyado Professor Frimpong Boateng trokata tin e de koma yewra Akufo-Addo e ka chense papi Sa wo pe obi a o tu Galamsey pa dia. Entwe wani hwe benkum. Entwe hwe nifa. Enhwe wani mhwe wachi. Na mum go straight to the point. Bisa wo ministers ni bi. Bisa Keti Jemfu anom. MPP women organizer anom. Bisa Atachi anom. Bisa Makwata anom. bisa Kinofurata anom. Those are the people heavily involved in Galamsey. Even to the extent that we call Chibia, o kwano mu to be. Sa report we kufa duji ya no trash yo se wo. De wa yinti. Ohun be chiro mema OSP ayeden. Ena Professor Frimpong Batin OSP yo mo che no ko share honom. Akokora yi omo tete na brabo because of no kwaro kan we kufa do aban mu. Ene MPP for catch the Ghana for say NDC for ba aban mu. Omonya 9 months, so it is now for them to fight Galamsey. What a hypocrisy! What a hypocrisy at its highest peak. Hey, MPP for Masa. Muni mintro dia yensu yeni jandam kele. Mamo nyesa mu smart. Do you know one thing? Omatna siya sise omunya hwi mfa so. Sise dum so eko. Dollar rate above from inflation aba. Akatua aban public servant amwakatua ye okay. And do you know one thing? Sise omo pese omo ya na omo create bibi de to onom na Ghana for eto omo adwim na omo sha Ghana for sha se bohu dedi ba oboa Ghana for si we MPP for mo sorry mututu muntuma guso ko jan bomuti ko demonstration kraye timamofo aye ya o man Ghana ye tu ahene esensi ahene oboa ye ndi mochi NDC for lose sorry MPP for lose focus. They have lost it because omun kan kware na mo pese mutu Galamsey asia anapara me hwe Dennis Miracle Sabwaje o UTV me di say interview no kraba platform ewom me hwa akoya me si he abrante we hwan na ye no bomia ebeya nka chinji no because this guy Miracle Sabwaje is one of the most arrogant person amimahu our position now was demonstrating the arrogance. No? He is so proud of himself. Akufo-Addo krasi mentimi fight Galamsey or the presidency to honor. Eno kura no man kan ho asemo. Mahama will say within 4 years I will make sure say me fight Galamsey to the core. Mahama will say 120 days and bibisa no I will make sure say Ghana insuwa ho eti. Miracle Sabwaje nam and say Mahama say within what do you call it? 120 days will be declared state of emergency. Such a liar, such a riffraff, I will send it through. Such a riffraff will send it through. Na mo dream say people for Munkwana Mutikurum home. Edibeshiamo, Mudisi, Yensu Yibisi. There is no way a better answer when these are buying iron popular. Ya brepa and support niba. Ya bre mega makasa pa ye campaign and some MPP NDC bidiso. Na mobile so nyame adom enema toto ye ne dun so ye hu MPP for mu firi abam na dun so ho na dun so ni ho mon kan no kware na dun so ho mu firi abam na inflation yesen na dollar rate yesen na petrol da sen na gas da sen na aban katua omu saka won katua nursing training allowance teachers training allowance pensioners amoji omusika ediko wuram ewo DDPP hwane we mobosia na Okoe-boye 3 billion na kinifura target to the bank data bank me wi akire bo chema mobosia fo mudi ani ebisa me se bosia no modi ye den mu hu ene Ghana ye it will be some critical confusion and fact and the Ghana age na so you people want to set confusion. Hey, mon forget it. MPP for mon forget it. Why? Mon chele. Now there's no way that your mind be shame sub. I say don't catch na me hu say wakojina the thank you to Eastern region. I say MPP for say free SHS nearby be twam. Am pass o mo kai. And how far is it? Omo twam, omo yen twam. But me atwa no e na opa achew. O papa o ye no se nka ye papa nka o mpa achew. Yen hu bi a waye papa o se pa achew de bi. De bi obi a wanye ni yi waye bone e na opa achew. Itu jejiji kira wadwo comment section ma hanom. Eya number 1 authentic platform Mega TV. Abusu Nyankopon hira wate ase. Nyankopon hira wo. Madiki aka ya platform we de be kili jandam ye ni miura Kevin Okoe-boye Taylor wate ase. Kevin chenchen hene Kevin Kevin and obi ma me warning bi wo me platform we so o see I say me upload o search for Kevin videos me caption mi hwe ni na minim dia ya maye ne caption na say Kevin dey normally no we still crofo so to ton crofo o twa mo chi mani me for so me caption is what's wrong with it and do how can say bi ebi obi adwen koso me mega nkwa na ma adwen koso I said do the mama me fancy mama the sleeping dog lines what I say enti mesra o hwe me na say wo hu ni me bi ya me ntwere nto comment section ni call me page ni number da ho about chat me na ndi nkomo ba de to me comment section mu a me take action mesra wada me pa chaw yakopon koso wa hire bibia yakopon hira akra bye bye.